Hey y'all, what's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? My little my little voice keep trying to go out on me. How y'all doing? What y'all been up to? Hey Cheese. Hey Lisa Boo. Hey my angel. Rochelle. Hey Boo. You doing good? I'm chilling too. My little voice trying to mess with me. It probably got something to do with me sitting up here sleeping with this doggone air on me every night. Not only that, it's been raining off and on. The weather out here is ridiculous. Bipolar as ever. 1 minute we got 68 degrees weather, next minute it's 80 something, then you got rain on top of it. It just don't know what they want to do at all. Now it's messing with my little voice. Everybody have a good day. Not the cheese biscuits. Oh, girl. Rochelle, you be getting in on him with that cheese. I ain't never seen cheese be used in so many different ways the way you use it. Hey, cheese. Cheese, you being good tonight. I just love y'all. It's all right, girl. You been busy too, Angel. Everybody be busy. Then y'all got them grandbabies, so they automatically, I know they take that little energy you probably do have. So y'all, I know it's a lot going on these YouTube streets, so it's story time. We gonna I'm gonna give y'all a little history of my city, Chi-Town. And basically we just gonna sit back and enjoy the show. I'm working on my laptop now, so I've been working on this all day. And I also got another story that I'm working on, and it's gonna have a lot of it's gonna be a lot of intake coming from that story. But I just got to get all the videos together and download what I need to download and pinpoint the marks, because the videos are long, and I just don't want us to just be sitting up there, 1 hour video, and then you got another 45 to 50-minute video. Hey, baby. Um, so we gonna get it started, and let's go, let's go, let's go. Y'all, let me know y'all thoughts, and if you heard of this story before. Miss Angel should know about this story. It's definitely a Chicago classic. Or I gotta look into that, Miss Angel. I don't think I heard about that. We about to get it started, y'all. Don't forget to hit the like button for your sister. Share the live. Let's go.
very violent place in America. Historically, it's been known for crime. Blacks, Italians, and whites, and so on, were involved. In the 1980s and 1990s, Chicago's murder rate began to skyrocket, and the city capitalized on its reputation of being a gangland in some areas. Black children from Chicago's neighborhoods were running the streets and trying to get theirs. Yummy, who was only 11, was born in Chicago's infamous South Side. And little did he know that he would become the poster child for inner city America. Yummy was born to a teenage mother and father. Mother was a crack addict, and his father was in prison for drug related crimes. Deemed unfit to take care of her son, Yummy's mother gave him to his grandmother. Yummy's mother would beat him until welts showed up on his legs and he had cigarette burns on his shoulders and backside. Yummy is from the Roseline neighborhood of Chicago. Yummy's grandmother's house was filled with 19 people as residents, leaving him open to continued neglect, so he began to lash out and misbehave badly. Over the years, that house became packed with up to 40 people living there, in and out. Really annoying, social workers realized that Yummy's grandmother wasn't too much more different than his mother. No hope for the child. As Yummy got older, he seen that no one cared about him but himself, and he had to do something to stay alive or he was going to die very soon. So he did just that. He quit school, and at 8 years old, he ran the streets of Chicago. He started stealing cars and master driving before he was 10 years old. Yummy began to rob people for anything that they had. He became cold. He was hurt, disoriented, and he was in the field with wolves. A neighbor said Yummy would ask a kid for 50 cents. If the child was scared and he gave it to him anyway, he would ask for another 50 cents and just take it. He had every element of the neighborhood bullies packed in a 4 foot 6 inch body. Yummy got the respect of the people in the neighborhood, even though he was a small child. So he makes a little team. No one fuck with them. Underneath the terror that Yummy brought to the streets, he was very loving towards his close friends, as he would often spend the night at their houses so he could have somewhere to comfortably stay. Yummy's neighbors couldn't stand him. He became a menace to society and didn't care about anyone who had something to say. There was no fear in his heart. He was coming to get his by any means necessary. He found himself caught up with the black disciples, which turned out to be a fatal move. Black disciples often used children as drug runners or hit men because they weren't old enough to receive serious punishment for their crimes. Yummy got caught up with law enforcement over and over, but kept getting released. He felt untouchable. In the last year of his life, Yummy was receiving a felony a month. In the total, he had 23 felonies and misdemeanors under his belt before the age of 12. Yummy used to scare his lawyers and prosecutors in the courtroom. His nonchalant behavior and poise shook the shit out of them. He knew exactly what he was doing. He'd be in the courtroom chilling as if he was in the classroom bored, not phased at all. In 1994, the homicide rate went up to a 931 record number still. In 2016, 731 people were murdered. Not much has changed. Yummy began making things hot. He got his first gun and carried it around like a toy, flashing it to the neighborhood kids whenever he felt like it. People knew he was a BD, and because of that, they left him alone because of the fear of them. On August 28th, 1994, Yummy was ordered by a BD to take out a hit. He walks into a crowd full of people with his 9 millimeter and shoots at everyone in his way. He kills his neighbor, Siobhan Dean. Right after he does that, he dips off. Yummy is on the run now for the last 3 days of his life. BD moved around safe houses and abandoned houses while a national manhunt for the kid was happening. No one could believe that an 11-year-old did that. Now he began to get scared. He figured that the gang protection wasn't shit, so he went back to his neighborhood and stood on the front porch. The neighbor comes outside and he asks if she can call his grandmother so he can turn himself in and to pray for him. The neighbor goes inside the house to make the call. As soon as she comes back outside, he's gone. Yummy ran into two fellow BD members, honor students, Derek Hardaway and his brother Craig. They promise to get him out of town. He gets in the car with them and they drive off. They drive to a railroad underpass and tell Yummy to get out the car. He does. They tell him to get on his knees. He does. And then they proceed to blow his brains out. 2 shots left his body in the mud. His body was found the next morning in the same spot, and that's when he became a national icon for the inner city struggle with this copy of Time magazine. Days later, Yummy had a funeral. The bullets tore through his face, so he had to get stitched up, but it was still an open casket for people to see. Tupac was vividly upset at reading this article because he couldn't understand how a bunch of BDs could kill an 11-year-old kid, but they did it because they thought he would become an informant. Pac threatened the BDs at a concert saying, "I kill all you motherfuckers." Yummy became an inspiration to Tupac, and his name is featured in this album, Me Against the World. Here is Pac in prison with Yummy's picture behind him. Y'all want more little known hood stories like this? Let me know. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. It's the Hip Hop Lab. It's a news story from 1994 where they interviewed people in Yummy's neighborhood. Check out that news story right here, exclusively on the Hip Hop Lab.
Excuse me, I didn't tell you to come out here now.
Okay.
I didn't ask for no appreciation to come as of now.
She's planning the funeral. She
My goodness,
would like
what is your problem?
to get her settlement season right now. Her what? She's planning the funeral. Who she's planning? That's the grandmother. This is her house. Oh, okay.
This is a very sad moment of this time to us. Like the calendar of the deceased of Robert Sandiford. Robert is my grandson, and I love him. And we hope everybody else love him. In spite of what somebody said, I don't care what nobody said. Robert is mine. He always have been mine. And I love him. And if I could give him part of my heart, I would bring him back as of today.
TV on the weekend. Not so much about what happens on Saturday and Sunday, although a lot goes on, that's for sure. Our TV, Weekend TV, is about some of what happens Monday through Friday in Chicago and other places too. This weekend, for several hours this weekend, we'll tell you about Roseland, a neighborhood on the south side of Chicago where people work and come home to houses that are freestanding and often surrounded by trees. Yeah, Roseland, where 2 kids died this past week and the week before. 2 young kids from fairly large families in a not so young neighborhood. This has been a big news story, a tragedy covered by media from all over the world. But there's a lot more to this drama than what you've seen, although we know you've seen and read a lot. Now, we ain't going to give you 5-second sound bites, so don't even think about that. What we're going to do is let people talk. Let them tell their stories. Stand around a bit, be themselves, and reveal who they are.
And one thing, she's a very neat young lady. She loved to keep her hair pretty, and she loved to keep herself neat and clean. She was a very clean young lady. And also, she was very polite. She was very polite to everybody. And she wouldn't say just 1 minute or 2 minute word that was wrong to nobody. She was just that kind of young lady.
First, I didn't believe it, and then when it was on the news, I believed it.
And what did happen to him? What do you know about what happened to him?
Yummy lived in a nice house and stuff like that. He was an 11-year-old boy, and he got beat by his father. He had burn marks all over him, stuff like that.
Did you ever hear him get beat? Did you ever see him get beat?
Not in front of outside or nothing. Like when they get in trouble, I think they whoop them. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't.
Did he ever complain about it?
For the younger brother, we knew that morning. But for the older brother, we didn't know nothing about him. Because he's being tried as an adult in this case.
How did that make you feel? I mean,
I didn't know what to feel when it first happened. I'm like, my brothers? And it's just like, but the family is doing great. That we've received the utmost support and we, with donations and so helping to pay for lawyers and stuff like that. We want to thank the people that have been giving us support and been leaving money in our mailbox.
people have been leaving money in your mailbox?
They're believing in their innocence. Right here at 126 East 105th Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60628. It's address right here.
And who lives there?
I do. Me and my family does.
Why do people believe that these fellas are innocent?
Everybody who knows them and who knows the family don't believe for one cotton-picking second that they're capable of murder.
For the most part, we'll just let this tale tell itself and give you some angles you didn't see on the news. By now, everybody knows that a 14-year-old girl and an 11-year-old boy are dead. What we'll show you is that they left a set of circumstances behind. Complicated circumstances that have a lot to do with drugs, religion, and violence. On Weekend TV this week, we'll spend some time 100 blocks south of Grant Park with real people who live in Roseland, a working class neighborhood still mourning the deaths of Siobhan Dean and a kid named Yummy.
Going to be so very happy. Going to be so very happy.
You knew Siobhan, yeah?
She's my niece.
She's your niece. What's your name, man?
Ida Falls.
What was she like?
What was Siobhan like? She was a very cheerful young lady, beautiful, outgoing. She was a good girl, real good girl, full of life, and she loved to come outside and play. She loved to do hair. You know, she was beginning to start doing hair, and she loved to see beauty. She liked the likes of beautiful things. She wasn't a bad girl. She was a church-going girl. You know, she likes going to church. And she didn't hang with bad groups of girls. Most of the people that she be with was my two daughters, her two cousins, Delia and Felicia. And she just kind of stayed around in the neighborhood. So after she started kind of getting out the neighborhood, my daughter, she does hair at the beauty shop. And so Siobhan started going with my daughter, you know, doing hair. And she mostly be up to her grandparents' house. My mother is a very strict lady. And when Siobhan go up there, my mother makes them stay in the house. You know, she don't like for them to run around out here like a lost of children, you know, just be running around. But see, my mother's not that type. that type of lady because she's a minister. And she believed in kind of keeping the kids, in a close range. But Siobhan, she's beautiful.
How did you find out about her death?
How did I find out?
Yeah.
Well, I live just right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard 2 shots. And when I heard the 2 shots, my 2 kids was on the porch. So I was sitting to the table eating my supper at the time. And I ran to the door. So my daughter said, make the kids come in. So I told my son and my granddaughter to come in the house. So as they came in the house, I sat back down. So some told me to get up and go look out the window. So I just came to my window right there and looked out. And so I saw my son, prancing back and forth, saying, call the police, call the police. And so then I ran out the back door with my shoes off. And he said, somebody's daughter is laying down here hurt. So, I don't care who child live, I want to help. So I ran out the back door and ran right here. And I still didn't know it was my niece laying down there. And so my brother, he ran out the door and he ran right there. And then I'm pretty sure he said he knew it was his daughter. I'm pretty sure that my brother knew what she had on, her clothing. So he ran and he looked at her and he put his hand on her and felt her pulse. So he said, she still have a pulse. So he said, call the police. The police were there so quick. I mean, they was here on arrival. And so the police, they came and put white gloves on and they felt my niece, but I knew, she wasn't gonna make it. And so my police said that she's not gonna make it, So they hurry up and they got everybody back. And so they immediately moved Siobhan, took her to the hospital. And that's when they pronounced her death.
Where was she shot?
In the back of her head. Because see, to what I saw, she had her coat kind of tilted over her face. So when my brother moved her coat, she had her hand like this, laying. It looked like her eye was swollen and her whole head, she was laying in a puddle of blood. And her brains had moved across her face, moved across her face. I knew she wasn't gonna make it. It was so quick. It just happened so quick. And me, myself, I've been in shock for over a week now. And I'm just now really trying to come back to reality because it's still, I just can't believe it, To me, it's still, it's still a great shock, I just can't believe it, I just don't want to believe she gone. I just don't want to believe she gone because I think it's bad and it's crucial for a young lady to be cut down that way, so quick without a cause. I mean, she haven't did anything to nobody, and she was a good young lady, good student in school. All the teachers, they all loved her, and she was happy that she'll be going back to high school. She was really looking forward to going back to school, And I did some volunteer work over there at Corliss, and so I said, well, Siobhan, I'll be there. You just come on, I'm looking forward to see you. So she was just happy. Too happy. Now, I won't see her when she get over there. And I just can't, right now, I just can't accept that she gone. But I'm trying to deal with it. But by the grace of the good Lord, he's bringing me through, It's hard on the family. It's still on the family. It's going to take a while. But the Lord is good. He's going to bring us through. Because he's a good God, He's not going to leave us feeling bad. God going to give us that good feeling. He going to justify us, let us know that we can go on from here. Because Siobhan was a big part of our life. And also, it took a plug out of us. It took a big plug out of so many people. Because everybody loved Siobhan, Siobhan had a big smile all the time. And everybody would say, Siobhan, you act so goofy, because she just kept a smile all the time. She laughed. You know, Siobhan laughed and she was sad. You never know if there was any sadness upon her, because she's a godson child, you know. You never know what you got until it's gone.
For in every word, and I trust in those things I know it and I know not. For those acknowledgments from your father and mother too. In those things, there are sense surrounds and feelings undetected. For these things, I thank you and I thank you and I thank you again. For sobriety and the ill-mannered measure of our personalities and our differences, I cannot always go into the aptitudes and the realities or the moralities of our differences. Our male and female coincides. There have been homosexual victims and suicides and rapes and murders that are not contemptible of our orators, but some things are best said under glasses and prayer and protected. There's many Semitisms and anti-Semitisms and semantics, and there are those that will never know and those that predicate and misunderstand us in some misconstruous form. However, simple household techniques are the best to abide in some ceramic ways have caused us many problems and difficulties. However, I have some friends and I've been dismayed at some of the orders here. But for this day, we were given a 100-mile vision, meaning I can see better than I ever were the time before. By God, I thank you, and I thank you again as I was brought here. Tell them.
So we've been asking people about Robert. We went to the scene where he was killed. We've talked to people about it. We thought it was a pretty sad situation. This is the first time we're at the house. You're the first relative I've spoken to or I've met. I just wanted to know what you think, what kind of guy he was.
Hey, man, he was a little kid.
He was a kid?
Yeah.
When you say how old was he?
He was 11.
11. What was he like when he was a little kid?
He was a sweet little kid. He wasn't violent, and he wasn't bad. The way they talking about now, that's not true. It's not true.
Like when you say,
every time somebody says something, they change it around. He was this and he was that, and I know that he was not.
Well, what was he like then? In other words, when he was growing up, like, did he have a sense of humor?
Yes, he did.
How did you find out that your nephew was killed?
What you mean how I found out he was
Did
killed?
you get a phone call?
No. They just burned the picture here.
If I was to see this young man on the street, I've never seen him, right? What would I see? What did he look like? Was he a tall fellow? Was he short?
He was this short. He was very short. To be his age, he was real short.
Was he a bright fellow? Was he a smart guy?
Yeah, he was very bright and very smart. He can draw, he can read, he can write.
What kind of food did he like? I mean, was he...
He loved food, gyros. You know, he ate a lot.
Mm-hmm.
When Mama had barbecues, he ate that. He ate a lot. Because he loved cookies.
Nickname was Yummy because he loved cookies.
Yeah.
What was his favorite cookie?
Chocolate chip. Oreo. You know them chocolate chips in the blue bag? That's what he liked.
What's your name?
My name is Gloria.
Gloria, did he have, like, when he was growing up, did he have any heroes? Did he have any sports heroes?
He liked a lot of cars. He liked to fix on cars and stuff like that.
Did he ever talk about what he wanted to be when he was growing up?
Not to my knowledge. Maybe to my mother, but not to my knowledge. That's my daughter coming there. They was all together.
That time?
That's my
so
daughter.
Your daughter was with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my daughter Felicia. They came outside to play. She can give you that.
Felicia. Hi, my name is Andrew Jones. The night that Siobhan was killed, right? What were you all doing out here that night?
You got me on this one. No. That's all you can eat. Go ahead. Hang there.
I can tell you, she can't take it. She been going through something real bad. Both of my daughter been going through real bad. Hey, babe, I'm sorry, but anyway, they was outside playing. My daughter, them, they went around the front. They always take walks. They love to walk. They just walk. And I tell them all the time, y'all stop walking so much. Why y'all be walking so much? But they young folks, you know, they ain't no, you're not gonna catch no young person that's gonna stay in no house. And they got some older folk that's not gonna stay in no house. But me, myself, by all the shooting going on in the community, you could be, you know, you could be standing on your porch and just so quickly, somebody coming down, driving down the street, they start shooting. You gotta run in your house. My next door neighbor, he's a minister, Reverend Stanley. He's my cousin. He was standing on the porch. He was standing on the porch, and it was like in daytime, close to evening time. They came by there shooting so until he fell down on his knees, crawling like a baby, with his hand up on his doorbell, trying to get in his house to tell his wife to open the door and let him in. They were shooting that tough, and that's bad.
I found out she was killed when I heard something. They were shooting. I saw her. They were shooting every night when I spent the night over my grandma's house, because my grandma's house is across the street from here. They were shooting over there, and I thought somebody got killed over there. So we ran all outside, and then we couldn't go there because my grandma said don't go over there.
Is there a lot of shooting around here?
Yes. Yeah, especially on 108th, the 108th Street, 108th.
How long has this shooting been going on? Years? Months?
Well, months. No, a few weeks. Months and weeks. Yeah, months and weeks. It just started back last week over the games.
Are you scared when you go outside?
Sometimes. I'm not scared.
When is it worse?
At night. Yeah, at night. That's when they all somebody shooting close to your house. Scared to get by the window. Yeah. They might shoot through the window and shoot you.
Did you think Yummy ever did any of the shooting?
I know the little boy. I took some time out with him, and he seemed kind of quiet. You know, he respects me, and he liked to be with me. I never had 1 minute a problem with that young man. I took him on a trip with me at the police department. We had a program down there for the kids, you know, that I did some volunteer work at 5th District with Officer Meter and Sergeant Joseph and Officer Bannon. So I didn't have no problem with him. He was kind of quiet. And even in the community, you know, brief, being with him, I never had any problem with him. He would invent something like connect two bikes together, put one frame on the back, and then it's like two bikes in one. He invents stuff.
Invent stuff?
Yeah.
So he was a smart guy?
Yeah.
How long did you know him?
Really all my life. He used to live on the northwest side with me. I live across the street, and he lived across the street from me.
What is a kid like? Tell me that. A kid is a kid. Born without education, and all the education that he will learn it as he grows. As yourself and I. A normal kid, caught up in the jungle and taken away.
I can't say who did it because I wasn't there. I cannot say something happened that I didn't see. You know, I'm not the judge. God is the judge. You know, that's for God to judge. It's not for me. My thing, I don't think that he killed my niece. I can't say because it was at nighttime, and nighttime has no eyes, and bullets have no direction. So I wasn't there. But all I can say, that deep down in my heart, I love the little boy. And I do have deep sympathy for the family. I do care about the family because I do know of the family. And the family, I don't have no bad feeling toward the family, no kind of way, because I'm saved in Christ Jesus. And God's spirit doesn't deal the other way. See, my father, he does the judgment, not me. Only thing I could do, I went around there and I gave a donation to the family, and I gave them my deep sympathy. And if anything I could do for the family, you know, I'm there for them.
Sherman! Excuse me. Hold it. 1 second, please.
No.
Please, no.
Hey!
Yes.
Hi, I'm John Avery from CBS. Who do you blame for all of this as you get ready to go?
I have no comment. I mean, not right now.
Well, tell me a little bit about Robert.
Robert was a nice child. Down to earth.
Are the reports that we hear about him accurate, or what children? Are the reports that we hear about him accurate, about him being arrested, about the problems with him, about the abuse? Is any of that accurate?
No comment.
Are you surprised at all the attention that you're...
Yeah, really.
Why are you surprised?
Because they blew it out of proportion.
Can you believe that this happened?
Yeah, what a...
Why?
Come over here.
What do you mean? You say you can't believe that this happened? Why?
It's reality. It's happening all over every day, nationwide.
Okay.
Come on, Yummy! Leave it for the last time, y'all. He won't be back no more. Yummy! Yummy! Yummy, y'all. Yummy gone! He won't be back no more. I love you, baby. I love you. Oh, Lord.
He was a nice kid as far as, me and my son, the time that I got to know him, he was nice to me.
How did you learn about his death?
A phone call.
A phone call?
Yes.
Okay. There been like all kinds of statements. Your grandmother referred to statements about this and that, bad things, you know. What do you have to say?
Well, I'm not going to get myself upset about what the people think about me, because I still got to let live and let live, so I'm sorry about the people, want to believe whatever they want to believe about Lorena Sandiford. I can't change the world opinions or whatever, because I know what I am, and what I am is what I am, and what I'll never be, I will never be.
What did you try to do? Your son, what did you try to teach your son? You only had a little time with him.
As far as the little things that I got, as far as the little cars, to let him drive me around and stuff like that, and we used to play ball and, sing songs and stuff like that. He was all right. Really, down to earth, he was a nice kid, Just got mixed up in the wrong crowd. They just blew it out of proportion, and I would like the world. Yeah, they just blew it out of proportion.
You say you like to tell us what your son's really like, and to correct the record.
He's an average 11-year-old child. that, you know, maybe get hooked up with the wrong group of kids, and, you know, kids intends to it leads to other things. Maybe he really didn't probably know better, you know. He was a nice kid, you know.
He had this like a long police record. I mean, started when he was 9 years old.
Yeah.
You know, how do you think for the last 2 years? That was 2 years. Must have been 2 difficult years for you, right?
Well, I tried to talk to Robert during those times, you know.
What did you say to him?
I would ask him to, you know, get into some kind of boy club, or is it any Boy Scouts, or, you know, community centers and stuff like that. Because I have my other kids in community centers.
What did he say to you about the way he was living? Did he defend it?
He was like an average kid, you know. You tell a kid time to go out of one ear and another ear, you know.
Well, what did he say? Oh, Mom, don't worry about me?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'll be all right. Yeah.
What's your name?
Tiffany Hannah.
And what's your baby's name?
Precious Sterling.
You live across the street from Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know him?
Mm-hmm.
What did he look like? If I was to see him on the street, what would I see?
Dark skin, short braids in his hair.
Brazen?
Braids.
Braids? How long did you know him?
Since I've been staying around here.
How long was that?
About a year.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What was he like?
Bad.
Bad? Like when you say bad, what do you mean?
Fighting, stealing, breaking in people's houses.
I think you should have answered this question. Yeah?
Shut up. Somebody open up that door.
Did you ever see like the police coming to his house?
Every other day.
Every other day the police would come into his house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you found out that he was killed, right? What did you think?
I mean, it shocked me. He shouldn't have got killed like that. I mean, he didn't have to die the way he was killed, but that's the life you live. That's what happens.
Yes, I think the child was lost. The child was from a home without the proper upbringing that he needed. He had, like I said, from 22 months old. How many babies, 22 months old and got two brothers or a brother and sister or whatever, but he has two other siblings, 3 and 5 years old, and you get to take a 22-month baby to the hospital with cigarette burns on his butt? Please, that's brutality on that child. And then the baby's left in the care of a 3 and a 5-year-old. Where's the responsibility for that? But then how can you blame the mother? Maybe she had her own problems too. And as long as the cycle keeps going like that, it's not broken by responsibility within the community itself. The government is taking away. These women know that as soon as they're not going to have a welfare check to go to, and they sure can't get a job because they're not educated. They get on drugs. They do what's necessary. They have the problems out here. Of course, they give the life to the child, thinking that maybe it's a baby and treat it like a doll at first, but then the child starts crying. If you're young, how you cope with that? And the cycle just keeps going and going and going. There has to be a break somewhere. I don't know the answers. I really don't know the answers, but something has to give. Something has to give, because the way that things are now, they're economically depressed, which brings down their own mentality as parents, because they can't give their children the things that they need in life, the things that they want. You get all these people sitting up here with, Nike shoes, starter jackets, things that a normal parent can't afford to go and buy their children. If you're working every day and you got 3 kids, how you gonna go out here and spend $300 on a pair of shoes? That's a whole week's salary. And you still gotta put food on the table, other clothes on their back, and a roof over their head. No, not with a single parent. So what do these kids see? They want it, they go get it. Instead of getting a job, there are none for them. They go out here, they make minimum wage, maybe, if they can get hired. And if you don't look right, you don't get hired. If you don't live in the right neighborhood, you can't work. That's what it amounts to. So something has to give.
The gangs taking over the community. They want to take over. Everybody want to have a turf. This is my turf. You can't come in this neighborhood, even though if you one side of the game and you another side, you're not allowed to come through the community. You got to go around another way because you're on another side. If another gang come through, they want to beat him up. You don't have no turf. I mean, this is God world.
When did all this start? Okay.
A lots of shooting and
years ago, months ago.
Well, no, I'll say the last really the last 2 years. It seemed like it got a little bad. It got a little worse, you know.
And what was the cause of it getting worse? You know, I mean, this is like a pretty little middle-class neighborhood, right? All of a sudden, all of this stuff starts happening. Okay, is it drugs or what is it?
Well, you know, drug is a supplement, and drug is a control. And I don't believe that drug is going to be taking out the community.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe it, you know, because see, that a bigger, higher authority is behind drugs, okay? Drugs all in the hospital. Drug is all in the jailhouse. So you cannot take the drugs out. I just don't believe it. It would be a miracle for drug supplement to come out. Because some people have to have the drugs. You know, even when you're in the hospital, you have to have drugs. You have to have certain things that are anesthetic for deadening and numbing of your teeth. You have to have some type of drug to calm a person down when they're over there intently powered. You know, drug is a controlled supplement.
So what kind of purpose are the drugs serving in this community?
Well, if a drug is being served through all out the community, it's a money thing, because they don't have enough jobs for people's young men to go to work. They don't have the sentencing for children to go into to do things. The young men don't know nothing else to do but sell drugs because they ain't got nothing to do. I mean, they don't have no education. They don't want to go back to school. And facts about it, it's not enough job. If you don't have no education, they don't want to hire you. And if you have a record, they still don't want to hire you. So what is there for them to do but to go and make some fast money? They gotta live. They have family to support just like anybody else. They gotta live. And if they don't sell drugs and try to do something for themselves, they're gonna kill up one another. So what is there for the young black man to do?
I want to say, children are dying rapidly, day after day. Maybe it's time we open our eyes and make a better place to stay. From the older generation to the young generation, please put down the guns. What happened to things like toys and trucks which brought you so much fun? It's time to open the eyes of our youth, and let's be realistic. If the violence doesn't stop here, there will be many more sad statistics. So let's all strive as hard as we can to get our communities back. Because it's time we look and understand we're constantly dying blacks.
You would think they were the brightest kids in the whole world. If you met the most intellectual persons that you would meet, in which they're being railroaded.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Kids play ball.
Mm-hmm.
Who's a good ball player?
Craig.
Yeah, Derek too. Derek knew how to play.
My father was good basketball players.
Do you think they did it?
Nope.
I don't think they did it. Nope.
And I don't even think that little boy did nothing like that.
That was cool.
It was cool.
Did you know the boy?
Huh?
Did you know the little boy?
Yeah, well, my friend, he go to Vivi.
He was your friend. What was he like?
He was bad.
Are these bad?
Huh.
Was it? Would you say Robert Sandiford was bad, right?
Yeah.
Would you say the Hardaway boys are bad?
Nope. Cause they ain't never been, when they was around here, they wasn't bad.
Were they in the game?
I don't know. I just not came back around from my father's house.
I believe in my brother's innocence, which I'm sticking right by my brother's side. Cause you're like that. That's my brother.
Give me your name again.
Catrice. Katrice.
Okay. One more question, Patrice. You know, it's like sometimes these things happen to you, you know? It's like the media is kind of impersonal, you know? But it seems to be, these are people, human beings, you know?
And the media is, you know, as in the media, they portrayed out to be vicious criminals and a cold-hearted killer. And that is not true, not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. which the media have been printing a lot of false information too, saying that they confessed, in which they have confessed or admitted nothing.
Does it hurt you?
Yeah, but I'm strong, which the family's getting through this. What doesn't kill you only makes you strong.
I'm angry.
Sometimes when things like this happen, the devil tell you God is not good. But God is yet a good God. Yes, He is. Praise the Lord Jesus. God have blessed me to be the mother of a lot of children. Praise God. Somebody counted my grandchildren and great-grands and says I had 106 altogether, grandchildren and great-grands. I give them all the love I can. And I teach them all I can about the Lord. Praise the Lord. You cannot make children live holy, but you can teach them how to live holy. Right. Praise God. And not the one that passed through my home that I didn't tell them about the Lord. Praise God. I showed my little baby all the love I could show him when he believed it. Now he's gone. Praise God. I don't have the answer for it. Praise God. I can't tell you where he's gone. That's up to God. I'm not talking to him now. I'm talking to the ones that live it. Give their life to the Lord. Why you have a chance? And that's not here in Chicago. That's all over the world. That same devil is everywhere. Praise God. You got to come to God. The only hope is in God. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Usually when the word goes forth, and that's the time that everybody rushes out, because singing is okay, talks are okay, but when it comes down to the word, that's not too exciting. I sit there and my heart is grieved, and I look at the family, and look at the mother, look at the reaction of the grandmother. I love you, baby. Then I listen to great-grandmother as she talked and expressed her love. And in the midst of that, talked about how important it is to be taught about God. Yeah. Our message is not for Robert, for there's nothing we can say for the young man that will help or hurt him. Right. He was a child. As much as we might want to say he was grown in this, no. 11 years old, he was still a child. A child who grew up in a rough world. And I thought about that, and I looked at the statistics, and I see that our world is just messed up. And I thought about the president who introduced the crime bill. And I was talking to some people the other day, and I said, you know, the crime bill is no surprise to me, because before the crime bill was introduced, they were already building more prisons. Everybody's building and doing things, and it's not in a corrective way. It's only to house people after the crime is committed. You say take the guns away. But before you take the guns, and even in taking the guns, there is a basic ingredient that we're leaving out. I don't care how many laws are legislated. I don't care how many bills the Congress passes. Yes. Without the nucleus of what has made America, America, we are headed for destruction. What is it? We know the problem. Yes, sir. Everybody knows the problem. Yes. We look at the problem. We deal with the problem on a daily basis. We talk about it. We discuss it. We have discussions about it. We sit down at talk shows. the Congress, and they talk about it, they deliberate about this and that. But my brothers and sisters, we're leaving out the main ingredient that is the solution to the problem. We talk about programs and we say, okay, let's put programs in the community. And after putting programs in the community, say, okay, let's get some jobs. Then after we get the jobs, okay, let's get an education. Okay, after that, then all of these things have to have a catalyst. Something has to bring all of these things together in order for them to work. Midnight basketball games, pulling people off the street, put them in sports. How many of them can actually make the professional arena? It's very, very, very limited. So what is the answer? What is the solution? Where do we go from here?
First of all, you give them love. And that was the main thing that was lacking. From a baby, they must have love. Secondly, they must have discipline within their life to learn the differences between right and wrong. Thirdly, they must be shown compassion and responsibility. They have to be accountable for their actions, take responsibility for their actions. And fourthly, you have to let them go. Once they get to a certain age where they make their own decisions, right or wrong, they learn to live by them, and apples don't fall too far from the tree. If they go astray, they don't stay astray long once they have the basic foundations for life. If they don't have them, then they're already lost.
Inasmuch as it has pleased Almighty God to take out of the world the soul of this our deceased son, we therefore commit his body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. When the dead in Christ shall rise first, those of us that are alive and remain shall be caught up together to meet him. Therefore, we shall forever be with the Lord.
You can't call it down coming home, Mama. I forgot to tell you something. I gotta tell you something. Yummy! 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 Now. Oh, Yummy! Yummy! Mama, baby! Oh, my baby! Oh, my baby now! I know he wanted me. I couldn't reach you, baby. I couldn't reach you. I couldn't come to you. I tried to come to your rescue, but I couldn't find you. God, Jesus, how much? I tried, Yummy. I know you wanted me. I know you wanted me. I know you did. Mama, please come and get me. Mama, please come and get me. I know you wanted it. I know you wanted it, Robin. You wanted it. Yummy! 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 Yummy, baby!
To the family, on behalf of the Gatling family and the entire staff, I'd like to take this time to say thank you for allowing us the opportunity to serve you. We trust that our services have been a comfort to you, that they have been rendered to your satisfaction. I'd further like to take this time to extend to you an invitation to come back into our chapel on the first Saturday or Sunday evening in December, when a memorial service will take place. This service is designed not to bring back tears and sad memories, but rather to uplift your hearts and to let you know that you're not forgotten by the Gatling family, that you shall continually be held in our prayer. As this now concludes these services, we invite you now to return to your cars, being mindful to turn out your headlamps and to remove your funeral stickers from your windshields as you drive. God bless you, and may he go with you, is our prayer.
All of you children that are standing here, looking down, take a good look, and I want you to say within your hearts that you'll never end up like Robin. Okay? Cry if you will. Make up your mind that you will never let your life end in tragedy like this. Okay, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
All right, jury.
Okay, y'all. So I got the two guys that actually unalived Yummy. I got a small video on them, and I think they basically explains their feelings about what they did. So that's what I'm about to get ready and play now. So I hopefully I already have it downloaded. So give me a second. Geez, don't be cutting up now. They're gonna get you.
As reporters, there are some stories that just stick with you through the years. And for our Tanya Francisco, it was the story of Yummy Sandifer, a young man who at 11 years old had a rap sheet longer than most adults. He died violently, gangland style, by 14 and 16-year-old brothers.
Well, tonight, for the first time, we hear from both of those brothers about that fateful night, what they've learned, and their hopes for the future. It's a story you'll only see on WGN.
At 36, Craig Hardaway is older, wiser, but he's also a little nervous when it comes to this interview.
I always saw media as the enemy.
20 years after a notorious murder that thrust him into the national spotlight, for the first time ever, he and his younger brother Derek are talking about the case that changed their lives forever.
It took me years to really admit and accept my role in it.
It was an unusually chilly September night in 1994 as the body of an 11-year-old was loaded into the back of an ambulance. He had been shot twice in the back of the head in a hit ordered by the leaders of the Black Disciples. What happened that night?
Chaos.
Despite numerous requests over the years, this is the first interview Craig Hardaway has agreed to do. Craig was only 16 years old when his mugshot was plastered on TV, arrested for the murder of 11-year-old Robert Yummy Sandifer. His brother Derek, 14 at the time, was too young for his mugshot to be released. He was convicted of driving the getaway car. All three, Craig, Derek, and Yummy, members of the same gang, chasing money, respect and trying to make a name for themselves.
For me, it was more like identity. It was more like, okay, I want to belong to something. I want to be a part of something.
It's an addiction. It's a strong addiction, and it pulls you in quick.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets.
The summer of 1994 saw Nate Dogg and Warren G's Regulate topping the charts, O.J. Simpson preparing for the trial of the century, and Chicago well on its way to recording 930 homicides, the second highest on record. Among the dead, 14-year-old Siobhan Dean, shot in the head by a stray bullet during a shooting spree in the city's Roseland neighborhood that injured 2 other teens. Chicago police quickly identified 11-year-old Robert Sandifer as the gunman. That led to an intense 3-day manhunt. Gang leaders decided that Robert needed to be silenced because he knew too much, so they ordered Craig to kill him.
Why did Robert die?
By means of not my control.
And was it your life versus his life?
Absolutely.
You thought it was that simple as either you do this or you die.
And that's how it always boils down. It's not like any wiggle room when you live in that lifestyle.
So you're saying you had no other choice?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Derek refused to leave his brother's side.
A lot of people don't know that he actually took me home, and I can just feel someone right. So when I asked him what's going on, and he told me everything, I refused to let him go by himself.
I should have been more of a big brother and just get out, right? But at the time, that ain't the way you think. I'm still a minor. We still kids.
Hours after the murder, both brothers were in custody, and months later, they were convicted felons. Craig, 60 years for murder, Derek, 45 for driving the getaway car. They were the only 2 ever tried in the case, even though they say others were involved.
Why not tell?
Because I was believing in the foolishness they was telling me, as far as the gangs and that lifestyle.
What did they tell you?
How they gonna be there, support, take care of us, our families, everything.
And?
Nothing. Literally nothing. No letter, no contact, no money for me, my family, they needs, no lawyer, literally nothing.
Abandoned by their fellow gang members and isolated from their families, the brothers have spent the past 20 years rehabilitating themselves. Both have gotten their GEDs and associate degrees. Derek is cultivating his landscaping skills by working in the prison garden, and Craig is involved in anti-violence programs. But for Craig, there is one piece of unfinished business: reaching out to Yummy's family, who has not responded to him or us.
What would you say to them?
Wow, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll answer any questions that they may have concerning that night, leading up to that night.
Both brothers say they think about Yummy's murder every day. The tears, they say, have long since dried up. Instead, they're focused on getting out one day and making sure that others don't end up on the same path that led them to prison.
I think if they hear it from someone that lived it and been through it, it might reach them a little bit better.
I know most people listen to this and be like, what the hell do this dude know? He been in jail for 20 years. He should have did what he did, yada, 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 yada. That still don't take away from the message. Value your life. You matter. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that you matter. Accept that the responsibility of your life ultimately rests with you.
Derek Hardaway is eligible for parole in 2016. Craig Hardaway will be eligible in 2024. Neither brother plans to return to the Roseland neighborhood where they grew up for fear that they could be drawn back into a lifestyle that Derek says will only lead them back to prison or to a grave. Tanya Francisco, WGN News.
All right, thanks to Tanya. That was the first time I ever heard an age that young, 11, with Yummy Sandifer. That gripped not only the city but the nation, but the city for years.
Yeah, on the cover of Time magazine. Amazing.
All right, y'all. How did y'all like Story Day? I'm about to drop the link. We ain't gonna be on here too long. Cause I'm gonna have to go make this run. I'm gonna have to go run up on Troy real quick. He's over here talking crazy. And he know I comes through. He know I come through real quick. It was sad, yeah. It was sad. And it's hard for me to copy and paste on this doggone laptop. That's annoying. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you. Yes, it was sad, but I love this, sis. Thank you, Cheese. The Lisa told us, so that's what he wants, sis. He told us, come on. You know I'll slap real quick. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Miss Angel. Most definitely. Tell my son Rochelle has became the silent land. Not for long. Tell some cheese. You ain't got jack. You ain't got jack. Tell my son. He got some. Yeah, you got it all right. So y'all, I'm working on this other story y'all might be familiar with. And it's gonna be like, we're gonna go through the trial and everything. You know what I mean? So I'm basically gonna probably start that. I'm working on, because I want to cut some of the videos and pretty much like get to the point on a lot of those videos, because those videos, like I say, they like some of them is an hour, some like 45 minutes. So I gotta at least know the timestamp on where I want to start on all of them. So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna start definitely a little bit earlier on that, because it's different parts. Let me see what y'all talking about. What y'all talking about? Do you still live here? Yeah, we still here. Yep, we still here. Girl, we out here right with you, Angel. If you still here. I don't know if you still here. Yeah, get the belt, Lisa. Get the belt. Get the belt, sis. Facts. Ooh, child. I'm hot, y'all. I've been in that kitchen cooking. So I'm glad y'all liked it, though. We've been on here an hour and 15 minutes. And I heard Jaffe, is going through a little something right now. So we definitely gonna go over there and pay him some respect. And I don't know, depending on how the night go, we will end up probably being over there for the rest of the night though. But we're gonna see how everything turn out tomorrow. If I can come on earlier, and probably get this other content out here. I'll work on it tonight. Cheese, are you going live tomorrow? Yeah, get the belt. Get the belt. No, Lisa ain't got the belt. She got the strap. What she say? She got the. Lisa say she got the Pootie Tang strap. Go get the Pootie Tang strap, Lisa. Oh, okay. You a Midlothian. Okay. I don't know. We might have to go on Jaffe page and we might have to go over there and cut up. They started doing all that craziness up in that chat. Them trolls. They gonna leave our Jaffe alone. Oh, okay. Okay, Miss Angel. Ooh, Lisa got the extension cord. Ooh, not the extension cord, honey. Don't want them problems. Talking about since he was 16. You gonna learn today. Oh my God. You gonna learn today. Keep playing. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Okay, y'all. Well, let's get up out of here. You know. And I love y'all. Oh, he gonna have something to worry about because she's gonna have to deal with us forever. Forever. She's got a lot of sisters. He got a lot of aunties over here. Forever. So Cheese, Troy, and Cuzzo, y'all better get it together because we deep over here. Okay, y'all. Y'all know how we gonna end it. Let me tomorrow we can handle it. Yeah, I'ma handle you. I'ma handle you. How about that? Hold on. I'm about to. Y'all know I gotta play my little theme song until I get me another one. You know, we gotta go out with a little bang. It was a sad story, but we always learn something from it, you know. It's all good. I had to give y'all a little bit of my city.
Get down, little mama. 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 Get down, little mama.
Big booty bitches, they talk a lot of smack. Bend your ass over, let me hit it from the back. 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 Let me bang. Bang.
All the ladies in the house, all the fellas is too. We about to get it juking. So what you came to do? Girls hit the flow. Let me see you drop it low. Everybody in the building say, hey, oh. All the ladies in the house, all the fellas is too. We about to get it juking. So what you came to do? Girls hit the flow. Let me see you drop it low. Everybody in the building say,
Bounce and break your back. You bounce so hard, you break your back, girl. Bounce and break your back. Bounce and break your back. Bounce and break your back. You bounce so hard, you break your back, girl.
You say your son was out there dancing. I know that's right. I know that's right. Ooh. Okay, y'all. I'll see y'all on next door. How about that? We going next door. Well, we ain't going on the other side. We going next door. I love y'all. See y'all in a minute. Mwah.